All right. So speaking of Joe Rogan, we can talk about Graham Hancock versus Flint Dibble. I find Flint Dibble to be very difficult to listen to and quite the weasel. But Michael wants to talk about this. He wants to talk about a lost ancient white civilization that spread knowledge throughout the world after a cataclysmic event 10,000 plus years ago. Tell us about it, Michael.
Okay, so after the Netflix series Ancient Apocalypse came out, there was a big hullabaloo about, is this science fiction? Is it real science? And there was a group of archaeologists and other scientists who tried to get it classified as science fiction. At the lead, or as part of that group, was this guy named Flint Dibble. His daddy was an archaeologist. He's now an archaeologist. And Graham Hancock reached out and asked to debate him on Joe Rogan. Yeah. This was originally scheduled for October of 2023. How do I know? Because I had it on my calendar to watch it.
Wow, you're a freak.
I know.
Of course.
Because no mainstream archaeologist has debated Graham Hancock on the issue. Now, what is the issue at hand? Graham Hancock claims, like Brad said, there's some lost ancient civilization who passed on knowledge and technology to hunter-gatherers after a cataclysm during the Younger Dryas period at the end of the Ice Age. Flint Dibble says, basically, there's no evidence of said lost civilization. So that was what the debate was about. I did listen to almost all of it, almost all 4.5 hours of it. I don't know that I came away with anything new. As for where I stand, I'm more interested in the cataclysm piece, because there's a lot of science and data at the end of the last ice age during the Younger Dryas, where there were temperature spikes and woolly mammoths went extinct, and we're finding iridium and nanodiamonds in the soil layers and things like that. So something happened then, and I'm interested in that, whether there was a lost civilization or whether there was a civilization that existed prior to that cataclysm and then passed on technology. I don't really know. But
I guess my thing is, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I don't understand why there is such a reluctance from traditional, I don't know, historians, archaeologists, whatever, to even being open. There's this reluctance to being open that there used to be people around. I don't understand that. I mean, given the fact that we've found massive dinosaurs and things that we couldn't even imagine that would exist today, but we find fossil records of them, and we know that everything was wiped out for a period of, I don't know, however 100 millions of years. Why would we assume that people could not have been there too? I just, I understand not committing to that truth until you have the data to confirm, but some of them are just so reluctant to even engage in that school of thought, because I guess it disrupts everything that they believe. But it's mind-blowing. I mean, to think that there could have been a T-Rex, there was a T-Rex that's probably as high as my apartment building right now. It could walk by and be at eye level, but yet we're not going to believe that there were some people walking around making tools and stuff. It's strange to me.
Yeah, well, the
dinosaurs are fake, which I think is what Michael was about to say. I think that I don't know that Graham Hancock. I don't really know what was his argument. Look, you guys just haven't done enough to say for sure that there wasn't a lost civilization, right? And Dibble was saying, look, if there's evidence, we'll talk about it. We have nothing against the idea, but we just haven't found anything like that. Is that a good summation?
Yeah. Graham Hancock says they haven't, done enough investigation in the Amazon rainforest, or they haven't looked at the Sahara Desert, or they haven't looked at the continental shelves where they used to be above sea level during the Ice Age. And so archaeology doesn't focus on trying to find this. The thing that Graham Hancock gets wrong, and he did this in the documentary, and he did this in the debate, and he's done this in other podcasts, he starts to speculate too much. And he did this in his first book, because he wrote Fingerprints of the Gods in 1994, and he ascribed the climate change that got rid of to continental drift. And now he's like, oh, whoops, that was wrong. Now I think it's this comet impact. So where Graham Hancock gets himself in trouble, and this is because he's a journalist and an author, not a scientist, is he starts to speculate about things he couldn't know, but that he believes and wants to be true. And he gets himself into a lot of trouble. If he stuck to the facts, for example, and they did a long thing on this, the water erosion around the enclosure of the Sphinx. There's hard science and scientists who are like, that erosion is water erosion as the result of thousands of years of rainfall. And we know that that area has been arid and not received that much rainfall for 9,000 years. So that means that the Sphinx, if that's true, is at least 9,000 years old, which pushes their whole timeline back. So if you just stuck on those arguments, I think you'd make a stronger case to people like Flint Dibble that you need to look at it. But when you start talking about transfers of technologies and sailing around the world and telling people how to build things and like things like that, then you're speculating and then you're kind of discrediting yourself.
Yeah.
So to be clear, Flint Dibble is not against the idea that humans could have existed. He's just saying he's not going to go down that path until he sees evidence.
He believes humans existed, but says the evidence suggests that they were just merely hunter-gatherers.
And they didn't build civilizations.
Correct.
Which you look at the Amazon forest and you look at the not lidar, lidar, and you see, the Nazca lines, you see these things that they were able to build big civilizations without technology. So it wouldn't be incredibly surprising that they did. And you would think as a people, they would try to do that. If they found a resource, they're going to say, hey, let's put a hut around this and stay. It's just kind of natural human instinct. But yeah, I don't know. If you guys had to go back, would you rather be a hunter-gatherer or would you rather be a civilizer?
A civilizer? Is that some sort of is there racial undertones to that?
That would be colonizer.
Sounds like it.
But what would you prefer, to build it, stay in one spot and build a civilization, or would you prefer to be on the hunter-gatherer side?
As a product of the greatest civilization known to man ever, I think that I would rather be a hunter-gatherer.
What is the greatest civilization known to man?
Our current one?
Oh.
It depends on my status. If I was, depends on my status in the civilized portion.
Don't do that. Come on. Which is it?
If I'm having to drag 2,000 ton blocks and drag them and place them and build a pyramid, I don't want to be that guy. But if I'm the guy that's watching it,
so if you're the slave master, but not the slave.
Oh my God, Michael! Whoa.
No.
I don't think you'd just be watching it. You'd be cracking the whip.
Yeah. I was thinking about this the other day, and it was I was contemplating if I could go back in time to only one moment in time, would I go back to ancient Egypt and see how they actually built the pyramids, or would I go back to November 22nd, 1963 and see how Kennedy was actually killed? And I only got one. Which one would I choose?
What is it? Pick one. Everybody pick one right now.
There's only one answer.
Egypt.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, not of those two. No, not of those two, of any historical period or time. What would you pick?
You want me to do this live on the air? Which one would I pick? Any time period, not just those two, any time period.
Any big moment in history, time period, whatever. Yeah.
Fuck, man. I don't know. That's a great question. Ancient Egypt would be cool, I guess, right? That seems like an easy pick. Maybe ancient Japan at some point, maybe would be kind of cool. Train to be a samurai like Tom Cruise.
Great.
Yeah? No? Yeah. I kind of would want to go to the future and see I don't know if you guys have been watching the... What?
It's not an option.
Oh, well, fuck you then.
The time travel machine only goes back.
Well, that makes sense.
So you pick ancient Japan.
Japan, yep. Ancient Japan. Yeah, I don't know that the time machine is going to be able to find Japan, but maybe they have an autocorrect.
Maybe.
I don't know how you guys are taking this so lightly. if I was presented with the choice and I get to choose like one thing to know for sure, I'm going back. They're going to show me what actually happened. That would be a hard choice. It wouldn't be so easy.
Michael would spend so much time choosing, they would take the option away from him. Like, listen, we're going to pick somebody else.
Okay, well, Charles, where would you pick? You have to answer your own freaking question.
Oh, I mean, of course, it's so easy. I'd pick the second that the Titanic hit the iceberg. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I would pick like the 5 minutes before, during, and 5 minutes after when the comet hit and took out the dinosaurs. I would like to see like
You're
huh?
You're not coming back from that, by the way. You're dead.
Well, I'm visiting, so I can't be harmed, and so I could just watch.
Why is the visitor not harmed in a massive cataclysmic event that wiped out, I mean, tons of species, especially dinosaurs? Are you better than
this is my scenario. This is my exercise. And so I would see the dinosaurs, how they're living, see the comet hit, experience all of that, and then see what happens kind of immediately after.
So you think you can do all of that in 15 minutes? That's what you said. It seems unlikely, but okay. You think it maybe like an hour before?
Okay. And I would just go back to right when the dinosaurs got hit by the comet, like when the comet came down.
Good luck to you, buddy. I hope that you don't die, but I'm not hopeful, to be honest. I think that you probably would die. But Michael, is there anything else about the debate? I think it's definitely worth watching. I think it's interesting. I don't know why Flint Dibble cannot wear a suit that fits him. It's insane. The cuffs of his white shirt like cover his, like, they go out like this far, like almost covering his fingers.
Because it's his dad. He mentioned his dad a lot. It's his dad's suit, and he's an archaeologist.
But it's is it his dad's shirt too? It's the suit seemed like it fit okay, like the jacket, the sport coat, whatever you want to call it. There's a difference, right? But the shirt was insane. I mean, do you have to fit Indiana Jones, he dressed cool and he was an archaeologist.
It's a movie.
And
no, I don't think there's anything on the Flint Dibble. I would like to have somebody on, like a Randall Carlson, who I've reached out to 3 times, on the show to just kind of go through the known science from the time. And then you can speculate from there. Okay, if we know that there was this big cataclysm at the end of the Ice Age, is it possible that there were more modern civilizations that existed before whatever happened? Yeah, but I think it would be cool to go through the science with somebody like a Randall Carlson or a Luke Caverns or somebody like that on the show in detail.
What is it, Ohio, where that serpent mound is that right? That'd be a cool place to go, right before, like at the very tail end of the Ice Age. Check out that serpent mound, who built it, why, that kind of thing. The other problem is that you can't talk to them. You can't talk to these people.
They don't speak English?
Yeah. I mean, they should, but they don't. Just like the French.
In this scenario, you can talk to them.
So I have a universal translator as well, like a C-3PO. Oh my God, we are getting so nerdy right now.
We?
Yeah.